1 second, I am getting this thing started in a minute. I'm just going to actually skip this part out. Let's just get straight to the chase. It's in different leagues. It's different leagues. We're talking about different leagues here. Why is this thing messed up? Let's fix that. Oh, come on. I've been doing this for a while now, and this thing still does not want to be in front of me. Let's white balance the crap out of this thing. Alright, there we go. I was going to do a fancy intro, but let's just get to it because we got a lot to talk about. Oh dear. And so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final edition of the Alex Show. This is the last show of the year of the Lord of our year 2025. After this, we start fresh 2026, and I'll try to cover as much as I can of the off season, let you know with the Oklahoma side and all that. And so yeah. But for right now, we are jam-packed tonight on the show in Oklahoma. It's a nice, crispy day, I would say. It definitely dropped. Beautiful here, actually. No rain, not at all. No snow, no rain. It's perfect. Just the way we like it. Although I wouldn't mind a bit of snow. But that's near here or there. That's right, we got a lot to talk about. It wasn't too cold for me. I was perfectly fine. So, we got a lot to talk about. We got we have 3 things to talk about today. It's going to be a nice, short sort of show. But I've heard that we've got a couple hours to get this done before Monday Night Football kicks in. And I want to go watch the rest of that because it would be kind of funny to see what happens with that game. So, yeah, I still need to get to that and do that. So, that's why I'm going to try to make it quick. Trying to shoot for an 8:30, trying to shoot for a small show, but we'll see. We got to talk about round 2 of the playoffs. We got to talk about Oklahoma's postseason and what it means going forward. And then next we will also be talking about the chance for a blowout in one of these games that I will not say because I want to keep it a surprise. Plus, we have a special segment about the future of college football and how we, the people, should rank these conferences. And then, of course, we'll end it off with a little fun stuffed skit. And then we'll wrap it up the show with the future of college football because a lot has changed in the past couple weeks. We got a good show for you tonight. Let's get to it. First off, said it earlier today. If you watched the 10 a.m. show, I talked about it there. I said I would cover it in tonight, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to start off in order with the Cotton Bowl, which is played every New Year's Eve. So it'll be I'm deciding on if I want to stream that game or if I want to stream the Alabama and Indiana game. Obviously, some people would know why I want to stream that game. Hint: Indiana could blow out Alabama. That's the spoiler alert. That's the blowout game that could happen. I'll explain more than we. First up, though, this piece of paper I have in my hand. Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. Oh, it just still hurts my gut. But it's all in the past. That's right. Ohio State and Miami, round 2. So this is a preseason of the top 2 teams in the nation preseason. So if you go back and watch the other couple weeks, Miami and Ohio State were ranked right next to each other. And now, obviously, stuff has changed. Miami has sort of fallen off, and Ohio State's only gotten better. But these two teams, if they were to play earlier on, would be the number 1 and number 2 seed head to head. Of course, now it was Indiana and now and whatever. But we're gonna see who would have won the matchup if we were still in week 4. And Ohio State's coming in this game, according to FanDuel, minus 9.5. So that is interesting because Miami, we've seen Ohio State play the best of the best, Indiana. But you might be saying, why the best of the best? Well, Indiana is the best of the best. They were able to keep up with Indiana, and we've only seen one scary game from them that maybe give us an idea of who they are really, and that was Texas, but that was week 1. So there's a lot of mystery of going around Ohio State. And come on, Ryan Day. He's probably going to be fired up after that Indiana loss. Go back and watch last year's championship run, and you'll understand why. Miami, they can't rely on Carson Beck. They can't rely on their offense to carry them this game. You're not going to put up more than 30 against Ohio State. It is not going to happen. If A&M was able to do what they did against you, Ohio State can do it, but better. They're more complete. Julian saying potential Heisman. He's one of the best to do the best. Let's talk about it. So Ohio State, what a ride. Walked through their schedule, destroyed everyone in their path, almost put up 70 on a team. And they won against Michigan. Ended that 4-year drought, and then they lost Indiana, and now here we are. Miami dropped off a bit, rebounded, somehow won the ACC. I don't know how. But you can thank Duke and BYU for that favor. So, Miami. Oh, dear. Let's talk about. I don't need to go into Ohio State. This team's been talked about enough. We need to give Miami some spotlight. Miami. Oh, dear God. 10 to 3 A&M? Oh, dear. Look. This is gonna be a short one because there's no way Ohio State can lose this game. If the only way I can see Miami winning this game is if Carson Beck turns into what he was at Georgia. It's gonna be relying on Carson Beck. Ohio State, you look at their pass rush, number 1 in the nation. They were able to get to Fernando Mendoza. And that's not an easy thing to do against an Indiana with Kirk Eddie. They were able to do it multiple times that game. So who knows? But it's a short one. Give me Ohio State a final score 24-17. Miami covers the 9.5, and Ohio State runs away with it in the second quarter. Have a feeling it's going to be a closer game, but who knows? Ohio State, do you lose gas or do you have rage? We shall see. Ryan Day, it's all in your hands. Alrighty, let's do it. We have one more game before we must talk about the one game that I do not want to talk about, but we'll have to do it. Texas Tech, Oregon, 2026. No SEC for 2026. That's right. This Thursday, the January 1st of 2026, Texas Tech going to the Orange Bowl to play Oregon. Oregon is favored minus 2.5. The money line is laying with Texas Tech. The over and under favors Texas Tech. Again, what do I say? You have one of the more heated offenses in the league. Definitely a hot one to be sure. But Oregon, Dante Moore, it's going to be a battle of who's going to outlast the other. The reason I'm not going into too much depth of this game is these games most likely will go the way that they should go. But then again, Oklahoma was favored to win against Alabama, and especially at home. They hung the 24 up them last year, so we shall see. It's whoever snaps that ball first, we shall. But despite wanting the Big 12 to be recognized, I don't think Texas Tech has played a team like Oregon, who has not only played Indiana, they've beaten Penn State, they've beaten Iowa, they've beaten everyone in that conference. I just don't think you're gonna. I would be shocked if Texas Tech did what they did to Oregon, what they did to BYU. I just don't think it's gonna happen against Dante Moore. So the Big 12, you're just gonna have to get 2 more in there next year, but unless Notre Dame cries their way in. But sad to say this to all the Red Raiders, give me Oregon 34-28. Sorry, 35-28. Just don't see how it's going to be an upset. Probably the only one, but I just looked at this paper. It is time to bite the bullet. You know what game it is. It's the one everyone's curious about. Remember the Oklahoma and Alabama game? This is that game. This is the game that has that atmosphere that Oklahoma and Alabama had. Oh boy. Indiana hosting Alabama in Pasadena. The prime event of our new year. Indiana. They're Indiana. They beat the number one team in the nation, the then number one team in the nation, and subsequently beat the ever-living, excuse my language, but this is a free country, freedom of speech, but excuse my language, I am going to cuss. They beat the ever-living shit out of everyone. I mean, they put up more points on teams combined than Alabama and Oklahoma have, than Georgia has against Alabama every time. Yeah, Indiana did that. The spread is interesting. Don't look at Vegas and say, ooh, I gotta go with Indiana. Remember, Alabama did it to Oklahoma what Oklahoma did to them. So don't count Alabama out just yet. Indiana Vegas has them sitting at -6.5. The over going for Indiana. The total spread here is a field goal at most or touchdown by 2. Money lines laying with the Indiana Hoosiers. So, Alabama. Oh, where do I even begin? I'm going to take my hat off, reveal my ugly hair, put my pen down. Okay. Before anyone says anything, I know. Alabama still does not win against Oklahoma. No, I'm not coping, okay? Let's go back to that Oklahoma game. Of course, Alabama went on the road into a hostile Norman and beat Oklahoma comeback style in a game that should not have gone how they did. Also, yeah, I could put the hat back on. Am I still mad about the game? Sort of. Do I give a fuck? No. Yes, I cuss again. Welcome to America. I can cuss whenever I need to. Just not to anyone, If you remember in that game, Ty Simpson was 18 of 22. Sorry, 18 of 29 in that game. And Oklahoma still got to him. Oklahoma's the best defense is the second best defense in the nation. The best probably defense in the SEC. We'll see what happens next year because they do play Georgia, which is it's just freaking funny that they play Georgia. We'll get to that in a moment. There's a special segment we're going to talk about their upcoming schedule. Got all that. But anyways, I'm not going to dive too much into this game. Like I said, this is more about Oklahoma than it is about Alabama. Because at the end of the day, this should be Indiana facing Oklahoma in Pasadena. Alabama should have lost, had every right to, should have lost that game. But hey, the winners, like I say it we have to say it on the channel, winners win, losers lose. So let's go ahead and take a look at this matchup. Indiana going up against two things. Kirby Smart and their offense. Sorry, two things. Kirby Smart, their defense. Moving on. Moving on. This matchup should be close on paper. Should not be close on paper. But remember, like I said, going back to the Oklahoma game, even if it's in an environment like Oklahoma, which has known to kill teams' motives and reasoning to fight. If we know anything about Alabama, this is not their first time coming to the Rose Bowl. They've been here plenty of times. Even back in the 4-team playoff era under Nick Saban. They've been to the Rose Bowl numerous times. Indiana's their first time in the Rose Bowl since the start of the 2000s era. Just a lot. So Alabama knows this environment, this field, and what it is. But what I have in a difference, we shall see. I don't want to go into this game. I'm going to save most of it for. I'm going to save most of my energy for when I scream about the Falcons beating the Rams. This game is, of course, a 3:30 game. So it's not a night game, which is probably the best for Indiana because you don't want to catch Alabama in night mode. Ugh, that black hoodie that Kevin DeBoer wears. Ugh. But hey, remember, they were able to go toe-to-toe with Oklahoma again twice. But remember, this is Alabama. If they're just throw out the run game, Alabama, and you may have a shot to just play clock. But unfortunately for Alabama, the only team you're going to beat was Oklahoma. Oklahoma, now, in the words of Matt Be Great, interesting channel, go subscribe to him, an Alabama fan. Maybe I should get in contact with him. We should do a little collab. An Alabama fan and an Oklahoma fan doing a collab. Ooh, some good drama right there. But jokes aside, look. Oklahoma was a free win no matter what. Whoever played Oklahoma, it was a free win. Notre Dame, Miami, Alabama, BYU, Texas Tech, anyone. Nice. So there was really no high hopes that they would make it past Indiana. So, look, despite how much I would love Alabama to win it all and avenge the Oklahoma loss, I think this game's going to be the blowout that we don't see coming. This is going to be that Rocky Balboa right hook straight to the face, knockout punch. That's going to be this game. I think Indiana's going to run away with it. They're more complete. They've been tested. Fernando Mendoza has played in back-to-back games that require him to come from behind, Penn State and Ohio State. So I think if Penn State was a needed win because it showed that they can win in any way. And usually the team that can win in any way will go further in this tournament. I don't see it. Alabama's just too weak. They're just not complete enough. They don't have an identity like Indiana. They are not enough. I don't think they'll be enough to get to Fernando Mendoza. Maybe 1 or 2 sacks. Indiana, for the first time ever, Just like I'm going to go back to the SEC championship. Give me Indiana 34, Alabama 17. It's the SEC championship at rematch, except instead of Georgia, it's Indiana. All right, finally, we got a rematch. This is actually the first time in playoff history we've had back-to-back rematches in the playoffs. Georgia, Ole Miss. Oh, it's me, Kirby Smart. You know what? I've got the clubhouse. Yep, Mr. Mickey Mouse himself. Georgia beat Alabama, beat up Tennessee, beat up Ole Miss, beat up Missouri, beat up Texas. They beat up everyone. How do I say this? Kirby Smart is the fucking demon of this SEC. He's got Kalen DeBoer's number for sure now. I think Alabama. Go back to the SEC Ring of Fire and you'll understand what I'm talking about with that. Georgia sitting -6.5. I think this game is different. I think this is going to be a close game, but I think Georgia's going to win. You know what? I'm not even give it the time of day. Georgia's this goddamn too good. They were able to blow out Alabama. That's right. They were able to blow out Alabama. You heard? Let me say that one more time. They blew out the Alabama Crimson Tide. They blew them out so hard that probably triggered something in Alabama for Oklahoma. That's starting to pass. I already talked about that. Georgia's that good. And if Ole Miss has no Lane Kiffin, Bulldogs 24, Ole Miss 23. Actually, you know what? No. I'm going with my model. The model has Georgia -10.5. Let's go. Let's go for the blowout. Let's go for one more blowout, except it's going to be a closer blowout. Georgia 24, Ole Miss 17. Cover the spread, Ole Miss. Prove us wrong. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the start of your 2026 year. This video is, of course, free. There's no sponsorships. I mean, there is sponsors, but they're more for other parts of this channel. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Leave a like. Let me know in the comments. Go comment on other videos that I've made. Go and give some love, and go check out some other people who I mentioned in this show. Matt B. Great, Josh Pate, Squid Tart, Red. All those people, go check them out. They're very fun, very entertaining. And this will be the last show of the year, so once again, make sure you are subscribed. Again, this channel is free. We do no ads, midstream ads, none of that. It's just free football all day, all year round. Alrighty, I can put this away, and I can put my pen away. So, next segment, let's talk about. Let's see, what was I going to talk about again? Yes, I do, but that is a separate thing. I'm not going into that because I am still tired. I'm still trying to process what I'm going to do this week with Addie. So, yeah, that is not on my mind right now. So, yeah. Also, I do want to do something with Daddy, so right now I'm focused on that as well, and that's pretty much it. So, oh boy, okay. Thanks. So let's see. What was the next segment I was going to talk about? I was going to talk about another. Oh, Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Who Oklahoma will be and is. So might as well group this together so that way we keep it short. Again, like I said, we're going to keep it short show. Let me pull this up. This is their schedule for 2026. And you'll notice some glaring oddities with this schedule. But believe me, it is indeed true. Alrighty, here we go. So, first, let's talk about Oklahoma's season as a whole. Well, I already talked about that in Sooners and all that, but I want to talk about mainly the run to the playoffs. So, we're going to only go from Alabama to Alabama. Yes, from Alabama back to Alabama. Close circle. So coming into that Alabama game, I had very low expectations. I had very high expectations of Oklahoma winning that game again, and everyone doubted me. Everyone called me a fool. The new media despised Oklahoma, said they weren't going to do it. They weren't going to make. Everyone had in Alabama winning and covering, and Oklahoma showed they're hard to kill. They went into Bryant Day Stadium, Tuscaloosa, and shocked Alabama. So that was the first domino that led them to becoming a possible playoff contender. Then they were able to go toe-to-toe with Missouri. They survived against Missouri, and then they outlasted LSU, and a very, very scrappy LSU, mind you. And they were able to hang in and outlast LSU, going to the playoffs for the first time ever since 2016, back in the 14 playoff. So, I thought Brent Venables did all he could. Going into this year, he was there. He did not have the offense was not ready for this level of competition, and their schedule preseason was the hardest schedule in history. I mean, one of the hardest schedules in college football. And although that has changed with LSU falling off, Missouri, and everything what happened the way it did, preseason it was just ranked win. It was a ranked game after ranked game after ranked game after ranked game after ranked. It was just ranked upon ranked, and just every team ranked going up against Oklahoma. Basically, the committee was saying, Oklahoma, since you betrayed your own conference, let's show you what the SEC is, and maybe you might want to go back to the Big 12. So that's what happened preseason. And then, so Brent Venables, as much as I respect the man, he collapsed against Alabama. That team collapsed. Despite how much respect I have for them, that team, John Mateer and all that, they collapsed. There's no excuse. You can't say, "Ooh, well, one of our players." No, you were healthy. Oklahoma was healthy. They had 3 weeks to prepare. They collapsed. Plain and simple. However, throughout the year, Oklahoma has been playing with fire. They've been the Komodo dragon of the SEC, of college football. So they're not going to win good. They're not going to win pretty, but they win. However, the same thing with Alabama, same thing with Indiana and Ohio State and Penn State. When you play with fire, eventually you're going to get burnt. And it was a matter of time before someone did what Oklahoma did to them. And going back to the Texas game, I think we saw a future of what that offense could look like if even one of their players got hurt. But you look at the schedule. You could have had a win against Texas. I think that Texas lost triggered the defense to step up. Who knows? It's in the past. But Brent Venables, he's not going to be on the hot seat. He's done enough. He promised Oklahoma to go to the playoffs. They made it to the playoffs. This just not there. I know it's gonna hurt to hear it, but they were never going to make it to a national championship this year. It would be impossible to do that. One way or another, whether it be Alabama, Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, one of these other teams was going to get them one way or another. Unfortunately, it's just you made it, you earned it, but you did not. You just need to regroup, get better. Transfer portal will be nice to you. I know that. You already flipped one guy from Georgia. Yes, they actually flipped a recruit from Georgia. So listen, it's all good. You've got a brand new quarterback coming in. We know John Mateer now is going to be playing for 2026 with Michael Hopkins Jr. They're going to have another backup. Of course, John Mateer is a junior. Now he's going to become a senior next year. So they'll have the future ready to go, and it will not be Michael Hopkins Jr. I will tell you that much. But yeah, I think they've done better than Texas for sure. And yeah. So there's Oklahoma in a nutshell. They're a team that felt like a Rocky Balboa story. I gotta use the restroom. What time is it? You know, I can hold it. It's just Oklahoma. 2026. Let's pull this up, and then we'll call it a day. I will not be doing anything else because I do want to get ready for Monday night. Yes, I'm talking like this because I just realized what I had to do. So it's not on, right? Monday Night Football is still on? No, it's not on yet. It is on at 7:30. Perfect. Here. Have a look at this for yourself. This is... We're going to see Oklahoma be tested again. So, UTEP Miners, free win. Hey, Michigan. Oh, Michigan. You remember us? We're coming to your place next. Good. Everything is proceeding as I have expected it. It's going to be a win there. New Mexico's a win. And then look who we play. As if it couldn't be scripted enough. That, ladies and gentlemen, this right here might be the matchup to watch. Instead of no Alabama, but in replace of Alabama, it's Georgia. Guess who we play in Athens, Georgia? It is time. I can't believe it. I predicted this because I said it in a previous show that Oklahoma has not played Georgia at all yet, so we don't know who they are for sure. But yeah. But the SEC decided to go with a 9-game schedule like basketball. So that means you only get one bye week. You get one bye week and that's it. So, and it's good because the bye week will come right after the Georgia game. And then John Mateer can rest up when they play Texas and the Red River. But look at their schedule. You get 3 wins, 2 good road tests, 1 free win, 2 free wins, a good test to see what happens with Lenore Sellers. Maybe a good Florida. We'll see. Ole Miss, A&M, Missouri. You round up with one of your rivals. But look at this. You also play Ole Miss again. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. 9 SEC teams. Oklahoma's going to be able to run through it. Now, so they went through the other side of the SEC, except for at Vanderbilt. Now they get to play the other half. What they do. So now Alabama is replaced with Georgia. Tennessee is replaced with Florida. A&M is replaced with, LSU is replaced with A&M. And then these guys are the same. South Carolina, these 3 are the same. You can just look at it yourself and see what this is going to be fun, though. I can't wait to cover this. But yeah, that's why they're set up this is when they're going to prove themselves to be a championship team. But folks, we're going to close out. We do have a couple more minutes. So I went ahead and did everyone's dirty work. Now, Drake, before you ask, I don't give 2 shits what you have to say and think about this because it's my show. Let's see, pull this up. I'm done the hard work. I've ranked every team in the league. So, let's go through it. D tier, bottom conferences, teams that you would otherwise see not doing so good. You have your you have your middle teams. So these are teams that can make a run. They just need the right pieces to fall. Look at where Oklahoma is. Yep. Also, yeah, B, you have teams that just need to do better. Look at where Oklahoma is in the power rankings. Sorry, Drake. You can't be biased on this channel. Can't be biased. Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss. You get the idea. Anyways, moving on. I just wanted to screw you with you, but one more. Now, this looks like a mess. It's not. Welcome to the new conference. Welcome to the brand new conference realignment. Let's go through it. We're going to ignore all of these. Why? Look at the SEC. Look at the SEC. Look at all these teams. These teams are grouped in geographical location. So South Alabama, North Texas, Tulsa, Vanderbilt. You get the idea. Think about the mashups. Look at who we saved. I did it for the committee because the committee is not going to do it themselves. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Merry Way Christmas. Happy 2026. Enjoy the new year. And yes, I will be doing the Ohio State and Miami game. So if you want to join in for that stream, do it. Do it. Good night, everyone.